friends, my name's Kim and you're joining me at Homestead Hopeful. It is starting a new month in just a few days here. We are coming up on August pretty fast, so for me that means that it's time to meal plan once again. I like to meal plan a month at a time because it saves me time and it saves our family money by being able to bulk shop for items that are on our list. And it is also just something that works well for our family, and I can get into that a little bit better in just a few minutes. So to get started, I need a couple of things, and this is what I use. I use just a generic monthly printout. It has the days of the week at the top and then enough squares to fill in for the meals for the month. I have the original laminated so that each month I can just copy one or two pages and then go from there. I also use my big family calendar. This is on the refrigerator, and that is where most of our family events go. I do have a calendar electronically that we also keep, and then I also have copies of some of the previous months' menus. And the next thing that I need will be this is a laminated freezer contents. So this is all the meat that I know that I have in my freezer. So once a month before I meal plan, I'll go through the freezer and just check to see what is left, how much is left, how many meals can I make out of it, whether or not it is frozen raw or frozen cooked. And this is my, it's laminated so that I can just wipe off each thing as we use it. So I'll have that ready so I know what I can cook that month. And then this is my recipe binder. These are my most used recipes, and I'll have that at the ready. Need a pencil and a pen, and that's it. So the first thing I start out doing is I put the month right on top. I'm going to do it in pencil because I'd like to think that today I might go back and do it fancy, but for now I'm just going to write August. The next thing that I'll do is I will look at the actual calendar and see what day August starts. It starts on Saturday, so I'm going to go on my first Saturday, and then I'm going to label all the dates. All right, and for August has 31 days. I will leave the last 2 days to go into September, and I'll plan those that way. So my calendar for this is just going to end with Saturday. It's going to begin on Saturday and it's going to end on Saturday, and I'll just know that for September I'll add those last 2 days. All right, so the next thing I will do is I will go to the actual calendar and our electronic calendar, and I will start with adding in any holidays. So if it's like Christmas or somebody's birthday or Easter, then we're going to have a special meal for those days. So I would then circle those in pen because I know that a special meal is due on those days. I have nothing there's no holidays in August. So the next thing that I would do is I would then look and see what my family has scheduled. Because of pandemic, literally everything that we have, with the exception of camping, has been canceled this year. So we really don't have anything planned, but usually what that would look like is, I'll show you July. This was my July menu, and you'll see that some of them have circles on them. I would circle days that I plan on preparing a meal for someone else, or new moms or somebody having surgery or a friend that's going through a rough time or what have you. I'll circle those days so that I know that I need to double up on the recipe that day or the day before. Before pandemic, my kids would have youth group on Wednesday nights, so I would know that on Wednesday nights I would want to plan something that was kid friendly and cooks pretty quickly so that they can eat before they would go. So I would just put a little mark on Wednesdays to know that on Wednesdays I need something fast. But on Monday nights I would know that I would need something that cooked quickly or a crock pot meal. I would have something that was already frozen and then would heat very quickly. Same thing with Thursdays. Thursdays was our co-op day for homeschool. So those are all things that I would keep in mind for the month. So after I've written down or circled birthdays, holidays, days of the week that I know that I need an easier meal, those are the ones that I would start with filling in. I don't have any of those things to worry about here. Once I fill in holidays and then easy meals, so say if I needed my Mondays to look like crock pot meals and that sort of thing, what I would do is I would start with those and I would go to my binder. I have all the categories here in things like fish, chicken, beef, pork, pizzas, soups, salads, bread, sides, and then vegetarian. These are all of my tried and true recipes. I know that these all work. That does not mean that everybody in my family actually likes them all. That's a different story. But this is what I would do. So I would start with this. So say my Mondays, I need a crock pot meal, and I know that I have, looks like I have 2 packages of raw ground beef, so I could start with that. So what I would do is I would go to beef, the beef section, and then I would start looking. Okay, so the first one's beef stew. I'm not going to do that. That's not something that I would want to cook in summer. Oh, but you know, here's an instant pot meal, so that might be a something that would make, but that was actually a stew, so I probably won't do that. Hoping to get, this is a chili. I could always put chili in the crock pot, and that would be nice. These are instant pot meals that I had written by hand, so that is definitely a contender. So I might do that on one of the Mondays. So I'd fill in instant pot chili. This is a good one. This is a hamburger stew recipe. This is a taste of home recipe. So I might put that in there. Another one is cheeseburger casserole. I would put that on another Monday. Okay, and there's my 4 Monday meals. So Monday's done. I would continue in that fashion until all of my meals are planned. Sometimes I'll get creative and fill in things like Monday is meatless Monday, Tuesday is Taco Tuesday, Friday is Fish Friday, things like that, just to keep it interesting. One thing I stopped doing is I stopped planning for breakfast for dinner, so I won't do that anymore. And the reason why I don't do that is because I save that. I save that for days that are kind of crazy. You know, maybe we got back home from somewhere later than anticipated and there isn't enough time to thaw whatever it was for dinner or cook whatever it was for dinner. Maybe we're just too tired or stressed out and I don't want to cook. So I'll save breakfast for dinner for those days. Additionally, my children are almost 13 years old, so they will make their own breakfasts usually and make their own lunches. So about 50% of the time the lunches that they use are leftover from the previous day's dinner, and the rest is they take care of themselves. So some of the things that they might choose are sandwiches, chicken nuggets, soups. Sometimes they just kind of put together a bunch of like finger foods. I might make, you know, like one of those cutaway boards, and then they would pick from that. And then on the weekends for breakfast, I usually make breakfast on Saturdays. I will make lunch for my husband and I, and then dinner we all eat together. So I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to go ahead and fill in my meal. All right, so I went through and I plugged in all of my dinner meals. So what I did was I kind of went through with a pattern. Sundays I just left for LO, which is leftovers. Mondays are my meatless Mondays, and then I did on Tuesdays is Taco Tuesdays, is different types of tacos. I have fajita salad, taco salad, chicken taco, lettuce wraps, and then ground turkey. Oh, this one was just a stir fry, so it's not a taco, but it's a stir fry. And then chicken on Wednesdays, so all different types of chicken meals. Mostly, so you can put like SL for slow cooker, you can put IP for instant pot so that you know what type of recipe it is and how fast it's going to be. But that's basically chicken. Then I used ground beef for Thursday meals, and then Friday meals are, Friday's gonna be turkey, and Saturday is a mixture. So I wrote, so for instance, like beef and broccoli and pizza. So we usually only do that once a month. I did start to put in some of the breakfasts. So Saturday breakfasts are pancakes, waffles, chicken apple hash, which is just like a small hash that you cook in the skillet all together. It's sweet because of the apples. And it has potatoes in it. It's very good. Then egg sausage casserole, and then I didn't put anything for the 29th yet. So then what I would do, now that the dinners are all done, I would go in and plug in the lunches for my husband and I, and the breakfasts that anybody would actually eat, because sometimes I just do it for my husband and I, and it would be things like breakfast smoothies. The kids will drink the smoothies, especially during the summertime. Maybe like yogurt, oatmeal, things like that. Those are things that the kids will eat too. So I'll go through and fill those in, and I would then be able to have this with me. I can put this on the copier and take a copy with me to the grocery store, so that when, say, I don't know, ground turkey is on sale, I know that I have 5 meals. And actually with this pattern, I would already know the way that it's set out. I would have 5 Thursdays that are all ground turkey meals, so I would need approximately 5 pounds. So that's the way that our family saves money too, is by knowing ahead of time how much meat we need for the month and how much we need for each week. Another reason to do this month by month meal planning is to make sure our meals are homemade and affordable. So that is the one very good way of making sure that you have a plan, because when you plan all this out, the last thing you want to do is just ditch it and then spend money on food that you didn't even plan on. So I think that's pretty much it for my meal planning. I will go ahead and fill in my blanks with breakfast and lunch for my husband and I, and then the kids will just, I'll make sure that we have cereals and oatmeals and yogurts and things like that available for them, so that they can make whatever they want and choose whatever they'd like. But that's how I meal plan for a month at a time. I hope that was helpful for some of you. I didn't start out this way, so don't feel like you're failing before you even start if you can't do it this way. I started out not meal planning at all, and I never understood that you had to start thinking about dinner the night before if you had things to unthaw. And once those things dawned on me and I got that together, I would start meal planning just a couple of days at a time. And then I figured, okay, if I'm going to sit down and do that, then I might as well do a week. And then 1 week turned into 2 weeks. So the easiest thing that I ever did is I would have, 2 different meal plans. So I would have, week A and week B. And what I would do is week A is here, week B is here, and then I would continue it on week A, week B, week A, week B. So that all I had to do is plug in 2 different weeks worth of meals, and they were easily duplicated for the following weeks. So I hope that helps some of you to get a little bit more organized and maybe plan for the upcoming month and make things a little bit easier in your school year. Thanks bunches for watching, and I hope you join me and subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.